guys, I welcome you to this awesome tutorial. So in this particular video, I am going to be teaching you how to vibe code. So this is going to be a very simple project. We're going to be making a portfolio website using the Google Stitch and the Google Antigravity. It's going to be a vibe coding thing, so we are not going to basically type a lot of code in this particular video. We are just going to give our AI some prompt and it assists us with the designs and the logic. So everything is going to be done by the AI, although we are going to continue to give it prompt until it gives us exactly what we want. So if this is the first time you are coming across my channel, um, please do well to subscribe and hit on the notification bell so that you can encourage me to do more videos like this. So I do most videos on Python for software engineering, web development, and data analysis. So do well to subscribe and become a part of this channel. All right, so I'll be introducing you to the recent development in Google, which is one of the biggest IDEs ever made by mankind, and that is the Google Antigravity. Now, the Google Antigravity is an IDE, an integrated development environment that also integrates natively the some of the Google's most advanced AI models, like the Google Gemini 3 Pro, which is one of the most advanced models that is ever made by Google. And they also recently embedded the Google Gemini Flash, and we also have the Cloud Sonnet and so on. So there are a lot of AI models which are available, and the best part of this whole thing is that it is free. So the Google Anti-Gravity is free, although there are some level of freedom you would have, like there are some level of prompt that you would give. Um, but if you want to get much time handling your AI, so you basically need to subscribe, and the pricing is very cheap. So if you are in Nigeria, the pricing I think is very cheap, and in fact anywhere you are, you can see the pricing for the individual plan is $0 per month, and for developer plan you would get the plan from here. In fact, you can simply click to get the plan and you would see you would be taken to log into your account and do um, other things. So but I'm not going to be doing that. So what you would need to do right now is to download the Google Anti-Gravity. If you are using Windows, you download for Windows. If you are using Mac OS, you download for the Mac OS. If you are using Linux, there is also an option for the Linux users. So you simply click on this download for Windows and it's going to be downloaded on your system, and then you go ahead and install it. Once you have installed the Google Anti-Gravity, then you are ready to go. So I have installed the Google Anti-Gravity. So this is my Google Anti-Gravity. And then I have a folder, an empty folder here, which is what I'll be using for this project. So what I need to do is just drag and drop that folder in the anti-gravity, and that's going to open up like this. Now once it opens, you need to come to the top here and then click on this and sign in. So you would need to really sign in. Now, once you sign in, you are going to be seeing something like this. Like you can see that I'm already signed in. Now, if you come to there could be a form of some differences between mine and yours, in the sense that since you are opening your anti-gravity for the first time, what you could see is the AI agent mode, which I can simply navigate into the agent mode by using Control E. And this is going to take me to the agent mode. So this is the agent mode. Now you can actually, from this agent mode, give a lot of prompt or tell anti-gravity what you would want to do. As you can see here, I have built some projects already on this anti-gravity, and I did a very wonderful project. There's this website that I did with this anti-gravity, and they did a very wonderful job. All right, so I'm not going to be using the agent mode right now, but I'm going to use this chart area, and from here I can control every single thing that I want. All right, so simply I'm going to give it this prompt. Um, Okay, before I start giving it prompt, we're going to use the Google Stitch for our design. So let's go to stitch.withgoogle.com. So this is the website, stitch.withgoogle.com. Now this is the Google Stitch, and right here we can select whichever model that we would want to use for this design. For me, I'm going to stick with the um, Google Gemini 3 Pro. Okay, and this 3 Pro is free. It's free. You don't need to do anything. So right from here, you can either select that you are building for an app, or you are building for a desktop. So if you are building for a mobile, which is native apps like Android and iOS, you can pick this. But if you are building for the desktop, you can pick this particular one. Right here, you can also upload some bunch of files. Maybe you have some design concepts that was given to you by the client. You can actually upload it here, and the AI is going to understand it. If you have a website that you want this project to basically look like, you can also attach it right here. But for me, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing everything from scratch. So I made a prompt. I made a simple prompt here, but this is not like a prompt. This is like explaining who this person is, because this is a portfolio website which you use to showcase yourself or your client. You need to explain what they do or who they are. So this is a simple description of who I am, and I am giving it out to this AI to understand who I am, so that it can actually make clear decisions in the designs and know what to put there, what to write, what call to action to use, as well as what design concepts to use. So I'm going to just copy all these. All right, so Control C to copy that. Now that I've copied it, I'll come back to the anti-gravity, and I'll do what? I'll paste it. So create a professional portfolio for a software engineer named Donyelu Chinedu. He is a software engineer with 7 years of experience. So I've given it the stuff. The next thing is I would want to give it the concept. So I'll tell it to please use modern design and make it tech related, just to be straightforward to the AI so that it knows exactly what I want. I'm going to press Ctrl A, Ctrl C to copy this, and then let's try this. Now we are going to wait for a while. Okay, so you can see that I've done so many other apps already from here. So most of my designs are done from here. All right. So if you have been having difficulties in making designs, this is the future of designs. Okay. So what is it telling? Try this prompt. In fact, let's just click here to generate our design. So you can see it has taken us to the design canvas, and this is where it is going to make all the decisions. And the best part is that you still have the freedom to tell it exactly what you want. Maybe the design it gives to you is not what you would like. You can actually give it some sample and tell it what to do next. It also sometimes would ask you some questions that you would need to answer for it to make some of these decisions. As you can see here, it says to design a professional portfolio for this guy. I will propose a few key screen that effectively showcase his skills and experiences. You are looking for modern tech related design for a portfolio. I will assume a desktop web application, right? So here are the screen I recommend: home, hero section, about, skills, and others. So I like the recommendation. So what I would need to do is just click on this yes, create all of them. But if you leave it for like, let's say 20 seconds, it is going to assume that you have approved it to continue. So it is going to continue with the design. All right, so let's wait a little bit. So you can see that the design is in progress. So these are some of the proposed pages. So we would also um, continue to wait for it to design exactly what you want. So let's also continue waiting for it. It's just going to take like 3 to 5 minutes because of the number of pages and because of the content of the pages. So let's pause the video and return back once this design is completed. So guys, look at this. You can see it has made a very wonderful design. We can actually zoom this to see it clearly. So let's zoom it, and right here you can see this is a very wonderful design, as you can see right from here. So this is gonna be the home page, something like the home page, and this is the about us, about me page. This is the technical skill page, and this is the projects page, and then this is the contact page. So these are the basically the pages we would need for this. All right, you can still like work on it. Let's say you want to work on this particular home page, can simply click on it and you can see it has been selected right here. And you can give it any prompt that you would want to give to it. You can also upload maybe images and logos that you would want to maybe use right there, and it's going to take it up. But the best thing to do, if you have an image, you simply use the image URL or the image source path. It's going to make it easier for you. All right, so I'm not going to be talking much on this because my uh, my this video is centered at how to vibe code, right? So then maybe in another separate video I will be teaching you how to do your user interface with this Google Antigravity, sorry, with this Google Stitch with Google. So but for right now, if you come here, you can make a regeneration, or you can regenerate this thing, or you can also get some variations, different styles of the design, and then you pick maybe which one that you like better. And you can see that the prototype is coming soon. It says create an interactive prototype by selecting more than one screen, and it's in a new stuff here. They are still working on this, but right now it is still free. So you are using it free right now because it is still in the experimental stage. But not because that it is still in the experimental stage does not mean that you can't give it, it can't give you a professional design. As you can see here, we have a very professional design. So the next thing I'll show you is how to get the code out. So just hover on the more and you will see view code. Just simply click on the view code. This is going to use Tailwind CSS and HTML to give you exactly that same design. So this is it, and we can simply click here to copy this page and go back to anti-gravity and come here. And what I'm gonna do right here is since I'm going to be using Python Flask framework. Everybody knows that Flask uses templates to store the templates. That's the UI. So we are going to create templates, and that's going to be a folder. I made a mistake right here. It's going to be a folder. So let's call it templates, and then I'm going to call this home.html for the home page, and then paste what we got here. And you can see it is not well formatted, right? If you look at the code, it is not that easy to read because it is not well formatted. But that's not a problem because we're going to be using the anti-gravity to format it properly according to how we want it. And if you want to test this thing out, you can simply right click or um sorry uh but let's just focus on what we are doing. So let's get the about us. So the about.html, and we return back to Stitch, and then hover on the about, click on it, then hover on more, click on view code, and the code is going to be generated. Copy it, come back to anti-gravity, paste it. That's the about. The next thing is the projects.html, and we're gonna do that same thing. So let's come back to okay. So um, before projects we should have technical skill, but let's copy the code for the project first. since we have created that particular page. So projects, paste it. Then the next thing is technical skills. So we can just call it technical dash skills.html. So I like naming my pages accordingly so that it would make sense. The readability of your code is very, very essential. So you should not play with it. You shouldn't play with the code readability. So technical skill. So let's come to the technical skill and view code. Then copy. Return back to Antigravity, paste. Okay, so next thing, I think it is the contact. So let's create contact.html, and that's the last page that we would be seeing. So I'm gonna do the same thing right here, view code, and do what? Copy that. All right, and back to anti-gravity and paste. So basically we have done the templates. So right here inside the anti-gravity, you can set up the conversation mode. Is it planning or fast? So if you want to use planning, then it means the agent can plan before executing the task. So whenever you give it a task to do, it plans it with you before it executes it. It uses deep research complex tasks to give you the best result. In fact, this is the best. This is the one we still use in this video. But the fast mode is where the agent does not do any plan. It just goes ahead and give you the code as quick as possible. So let's leave it at the plan mode. And then here is where you can select the model that you would want to use. As you can see here, we have Gemini 3 Pro, we have Gemini 3 Pro low and high, we have Gemini 3 Flash, which is a new model. We have Cloud Sonnet 4.5, we have Cloud Sonnet 4.5 Thinking, we have Cloud Sonnet Opus 4.5 Thinking, and then we have GPT OSS 120B, which is medium. From my experience so far, the Gemini 3 Pro, the Gemini 3 Flash, the Cloud Sonnet 4.5 has been the best models that I've been using so far. But you can still give these other ones a try. So let us use the Cloud Sonnet for now. So all right, but anyone is okay. Anyone is okay, but let's just pick one. Let's use Gemini 3 Pro. All right, so right now we need to give it a prompt to tell it how to use this thing. All right, we can tell it to create a virtual environment, or rather a virtual env for this Python web pages, which is a portfolio website. We are going to use Flask for the project, and I want you to study the templates and use them appropriately where necessary. Don't mind my English. Where necessary, um, create a base template from the home covering the header and footer, and retain consistency of the design in all pages. Okay, make the web pages responsive, because we need it to be responsive in both mobile, tablet, and desktop. Responsive on all device widths. All device width. Use off canvas navbar for the mobile navigation. Okay, is there anything I'm forgetting? Read the prompt.md to understand the project better. Okay, so let's send this prompt. So this is going to do some planning for us, and it's going to give us the implementation plan. It's going to give us the tax or the tax process. So we're going to basically see every step that it is going to take to be able to give us exactly what we want. Okay, so right now it is studying everything. It is going to study the templates, it's going to study the prompts.md, and then it will understand our project and tell us what we need to see. So you can see the task. So the task is going to create a virtual environment setup. So it's going to create Python virtual environment, install Flask, create requirements.txt, because Python servers need the requirements.txt to be able to know all the packages that is required to run such application. And right here you can see the backend setup, which is going to create an app.py with routes for all pages, the front end refactoring, analyzing existing templates for header and footer commonalities, and then it's going to create base.html with responsive layout and off canvas navbar. Then it's going to refactor the home, the about, the project, the technical skill, and the contact.html, and extend them to the base.html. And then it's going to now verify with to see that these things are working perfectly. So look at it. If you come to this side, you would see I have created an implementation plan and all that, so you can simply just read through this thing and accept all. Now that we have accepted this, it becomes our plan. So this is the implementation plan. So it will tell you the goal of the project, what it's going to do, the steps, and all that. So let's tell it to continue with the project. All right, so we continue. So let's wait for it. I think the first thing it's going to do is to create the virtual environment. So I'm going to accept to run the pip and all that. So you can see it has created a virtual environment for us, and it is going to install Flask inside the virtual environment. All right, so it has also created the app.py. So basically, your only job is to read what it gives to you and see that it is exactly what you want, and then you accept. If you open the app.py, you can see it has done the minimal application, which is from Flask, import Flask. And for rendering the HTML, we need to import render template from Flask. And then we instantiate the app, and then we create all the routes. So this is the home route, the about route, the project route, the skills route, the contact route, and this is basically our application. And let's accept that. And if you come to the tags, you will see what and what it has done, and what and what it has not yet done. So you can see it has marked the environment setup has been completely done. The backend has also been completely done. The front end refactoring is what it is doing right now. It has created the base. It has refactored the home. It is now working on the about. Once it is done, it will mark it and it will continue. All right, so let's continue. Let's just continue with it. So you can see we are not typing any code, we are not doing anything. AI does everything from beginning to the end, and it is also going to test this thing in our browser. So basically, it is going to give you a prompt when it is done. That prompt is going to tell you to install the browser extension. So you would need to install the browser extension. Once you install the browser extension, you would see something like this: open browser preview. But for now, we don't need to click on anything. It knows when to open the browser for us, and it is going to do every single thing by itself. Test it even in our browser. So let's see. So it is done with the about. It is now going in for the projects. So this is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to pause this video. But if there is any prompt that comes up, I am going to also um, tell you. So like right now, we have some stuffs that it has done. We need to just accept all and continue. Okay, so let's also accept this and wait. Okay, so if you now come to any of these, you will see it is now properly indented. It is now much more readable. Let's just think. Let's shift this. So it is now much more readable because we can now read, and you can see it extends to the base.html which it has created for us, and it continues to do its job. All right, so um, if you want to get everything in details, the best thing is to prompt in details. Prompt one after the other, one after the other. Don't give it all the prompt, but you need to explain what the project is all about. Give it freedom to study that project directory and understand it from beginning to the end. It is not just for you to start a project from scratch. You can even update an already existing project with this Google Antigravity. Just simply git clone that particular repository and tell it to go through it and study it. It will study it, then you tell it all the updates that you want to do, and it's going to do it from beginning to the end. And then you test it for you. If there is any error, it fixes it. But if it wasn't able to test it, you can also test it yourself. And when you test it and you find out that there are errors, you can also give it, just copy the error message and paste into the chat. And that's going to make sure that everything is working fine and you can deploy. And a part of this video is going to be where I'll be showing you how we can even make a Docker compose file right here, and use that Docker compose file to deploy this project in real time. So there are a lot of things that you can actually can be done from this. Let's see the implementation plan. I'm going to close it, close this, close this. Let's see, once it is done with what it is doing, it will tell you that it is done. So it says verifying routes and creating walkthrough. And this is going to, okay, so it is verifying all the pages, and it is also editing the tags. Let's see the tags. So you can see it is done with the tags. It is just doing some verification on what it has done. So, but for me, I am going to do something. I am going to just not just allow it to do this by itself, but rather, okay, I'm going to, okay, you can see it is actually trying to run the PowerShell, but the PowerShell could not allow it because of some configuration issues. So let's give it access to the command prompt, and you can see automatically it has activated the virtual environment in the command prompt. So we can actually use Flask run to run this application, or we can also use Python app.py to run it. So let's try running this. So you can see that the server is now running. So hold Control and press on the link, and this is going to open up your browser. Whatever default browser you have is going to open. So you can see that the website is working perfectly. And guys, you can see this is exactly the design we had here. This is exactly the design we had here. Is this not exactly the same design we had here? So you can see we have done a whole lot of things. Let's go to the about, and this is the about us. So you can simply change these images and put your own images. You can go to the skills to see which skills that we possess, and you can see the skills: backend engineering, Python, Django, Flask, Fast API, Node.js, and Express.js. Front end and UI, React, Tailwind CSS, HTML5. Database, Postgres, and all that. DevOps, Cloud, deployment. Oh my God, this is wonderful project. This is a very wonderful project, and I can't wait to hear what you have done with this knowledge I'm giving to you right now. I would want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. So once you do your own project, I want you to comment in the comment section. Use the comment section, put up the link to it if you know how to deploy it, or you can simply tell me that you have done it. Okay, so, and you are free to get to me. My contact details is correct right here. So this is my email and this is my phone number, my personal phone number. Please guys, don't call, just chat me on WhatsApp. I am going to respond to you. All right. So for the send me a message, this place send a message, you can actually make it work. Yes, you can actually make it work. So let's say the person wants to make project inquiry, or the person wants a job opportunity, consultation, and others. They can actually do that right from here and send this message, and you're gonna receive it in your own email. Okay. If you still want to automate everything, you can also immediately you receive the message, you send automatic message telling them that you have received their message, so that they know that their message was actually received. So there are a lot of things that we can simply do, but for now, I am going to stop this video right here because we have done a lot of things already. And let's see the responsiveness. So I have this extension that is called the mobile simulator in my browser. So guys, you can get this extension. So simply right click here and go to the mobile simulator and pick the mobile. So let's see how it would look on a mobile device. If this is wasting your time, you can simply do that right this way. So you can see this is awesome. So even on mobile, it is perfectly done, right? So our website is doing awesomely fine. So guys, use the comment section to ask any question of your interest. Tell me the next topic that you would want me to treat in this place, and I'm going to be glad to teach you anything that you want to know. Please guys, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit on the notification bell. Share this video to as many friends as possible, so that they can also know what you are, what you know right now. Um, Support the channel by sharing, by subscribing, and by liking this video, so that YouTube would recommend it to more people. I'll see you in my next episode. For now, bye.